Can you time sets? Dr. David Sandwell, professor at Scripps Institute of Oceanography, proposed this question to his class, presumably instigated by the urge for surfers to attempt to control the ocean. Using Walter Monk's theory of sets and some fancy math, he showed there is such a way. Supposing waves are generated at the same time and arrive in San Diego at the same time, the storm's fetch is 400 kilometers and it's 7,000 kilometers away. With a period of 17 seconds when the waves arrive, the sets will arrive approximately 5.5 minutes apart. Obviously, in an ideal mathematical world, we could use this all the time and simply paddle out to be ready for each set when it arrives. But in reality, there's a lot more chaos in the ocean between point A and point B, and additional swells producing energy, taking up time and space, which all makes investigation into actual buoy readings look different than the solution to the equation. Taking vertical displacement buoy readings over a 4-hour duration yielded a different result, as we would expect. Assuming a set was defined given certain parameters, Dr. Sandwell was able to identify an average of 8.8 minutes in between sets for this offshore oceanside buoy. Granted, the ocean conditions were different than the formula assumptions from the equation we calculated, but this illustration and the observations we can make from it can tell us an awful lot about our paddling and positioning strategy in the water. For example, it seems as though if you paddled out 5 minutes after the start of the hour, you'd be greeted with 2 sets within the first 5 to 10 minutes. And based on that, in your mind, you would sit out the back waiting for the next set that you would think would arrive in the next 5 to 10 minutes. But it's almost another 20 minutes until the next set arrives. Then almost another 20 minutes until the next one. With the predisposed data when you first entered the water, you would end up only surfing 5 or so waves in an hour, assuming you only get 1 wave per set since you're waiting on the outside for the sets to come through. Alternatively, look at the second 2 hours. The arrival of the sets is much more frequent, and that previous strategy would yield a lot more waves. Hindsight is 20/20. But the better strategy over the 4-hour period would be to limit how long you wait on the outside for waves. If, for example, you enter the water and experience the 2 sets close to each other, like in the first hour, if you don't see a set in the next 5 minutes, consider sneaking further inside to catch some of the medium to smaller waves. Then, knowing that a set may be arriving, begin to paddle a little further out around the 15-minute mark. If a set comes, you're golden. If it doesn't, sneak back in to get the smaller waves. Optimal positioning strategy isn't a fixed one-strategy-fits-all solution. In the Level 2 paddling technique course, in addition to effective sprint technique, I also teach optimal positioning strategy, the wave timing formula, getting out technique and strategy, and the pop-up. To catch a lot of waves, there is much more than just paddling. Understanding general patterns of what you expect to see before you even show up by looking at the forecast. Understanding patterns of what you observe in real time and altering and adapting to what you're experiencing yields the highest wave count with the least amount of effort. As a byproduct, you spend even less energy on your paddle back out when you're in rhythm with the ocean versus being out of rhythm. The next time you're out surfing, begin asking why waves break the way they do. Ask why waves arrive when they do. And start looking for patterns. You'll be surprised at how much your brain likes patterns and how much easier moving around in the ocean becomes. Until next time, I'll see you in the water.